Hey folks, my name is Pravus, welcome back to more Farthest Frontier, and what I envision is going to be the finale for this series, or at least I hope it's going to be, because there's only one thing I really care about accomplishing from here on out, and that is to build all three of the endgame monuments. We've got access to one, could get access to the second easily enough, got a fair bit of research to go before we can get the Beacon of Culture. The real challenge here is mostly going to be that everything is very expansive. If we were to go to the buildings and look for monuments here, there it is, our economic monument is going to cost me 469 bricks, 300 planks, and a whopping 15,000 gold. I think it's safe to assume that the costs are going to be fairly similar across the board. 1,000 stone, 200 iron, and 10,000 gold there. 200 stone, 500 iron, and 12,000 gold there. So, yeah, we have a lot of resources we need to accumulate. I need to be a proper dragon and hoard a lot of wealth together to make this work. So we got a long ways to go. But that is the goal. That is the goal for today's video, to finish things off nice and strong, get those monuments, and we can say that we are truly in a dominant position. So in the meantime, just survive. Survive as much as we can. Build up that wealth, build up all of your economy, get that metal, get that stone, get whatever it's going to be, right? Get the research points, and then if necessary, continue expanding out with the population, because at this point, I'm getting the feeling I'm going to need a larger and larger population just to sustain my industrialization efforts and get to these monuments. Otherwise, it's a waiting game. It's going to be at least a few years. We're probably going to face a few raids along the way, and you better believe they're going to be scary. Now, I know I said we want to get some technology down here toward the Beacon of Culture, but knowing that we're going to need a stupid amount of stone, maybe it would be worth investing in getting the quarry. Then I can go for the unlimited stone deposits, and I do have something really close to the base right here. That's about as convenient as it's ever going to get. That extends my timeline a little bit, but honestly, might be faster in the long run. Maybe. One thing that's absolutely murdering me right now, no one is willing to sell any clay. I have completely burned through my stockpile. I have been burned out for a while. That means I'm not producing anything like bricks, which is kind of a serious problem. I've been happy to buy stuff, but no one wants to bring it. Oy, oy, what are you guys doing to me and why? Well, at least the quarry is set up. Good news is, let's let you put in a load of workers, a full, looks like 16 of them, which is pretty great. So we're going to start generating a lot of stone, lots of stone, which is what you like to see. Plus, we're finally starting to catch up on some of our other mineral wealth. We're generating a lot more coal and gold, since I've got a lot more people working on that as well. So now we can continue making all of our armor and stuff to then sell. Or we can just keep making, you know, more and more gold, which is great. I've got almost 1,000 glassware sitting around. Anyone want to buy that? That's worth a ton of money. Come on, guys, work with me. Definitely still having a lot of water issues in the town. I can see my wells drying up. We've been having a lot of droughts and heat waves as of late, which is no surprise given the terrain we are in right now, but nonetheless, it is definitely getting harder and harder to sustain. And there's really nothing I can do about that, if I'm honest. Like, I've got wells out in some places with water out here to be safe. I'm trying to capture some water out over here, but, like, it's getting kind of far away from the urban areas. Interestingly, you can see just how effective placing down forests can be as far as water seeping into the ground. Because this all used to be dry nothing, but my foresters have done a good job of kind of fielding this area up, full of trees, and all the water is just hanging out over here, which is great. So that's an interesting factoid. Resource-wise, how are we doing? Still struggling on food again, as always been the way of things, but we're doing okay-ish, not too bad. Building up a good supply of coal, which is great since I've got like 24, 32 people working on it, so I dang well better. Building up that coal, starting to make some progress on sand again, which is good, and still nobody has come by to buy any glass for like 3 years. So that's not helping matters. That is not helping matters at all. One thing I did start doing that I kind of forgot exists because clay has been such an issue for a long time, but I did upgrade my forgers' gardens. They were forgers' huts. Now they are gardens. Something they can do is start cultivating small amounts of resources of their own. Not a lot, mind you. How much like willow and stuff did I just get? Like 3? Why are these guys doing nuts? You're not supposed to be growing nuts. You're supposed to be growing willow. Well, whatever. Anyway, point is, they're able to grow small amounts of things. So, for a little bit anyway, I can trickle in a tiny bit of herbs, a tiny bit of willow, 2 things I can't naturally find on the map. It's certainly not enough to sustain anything meaningful with the population, but it is something whenever these guys have downtime and nothing to harvest. Oh, and here comes a raid. Okay, well, they're all coming from one direction, which is great. I'm going to let them come to me. I can meet them out in the field, but I'm very curious how effective our defenses are right now. I'm trying something new here with this kind of double-gated approach, since it looks like they always keep hitting this one spot. I want to see what the AI is going to do as far as changing its behavior. Is it going to look at this and say, that's too much HP to break through, and therefore it's going to pick a single wall over here, so 1,800 instead of a combined 2,400? Or what? That would be very telling as far as how I can set up my defenses. We are looking at 102 raiders overall, though. Woo, that is a lot. What am I dealing with here? Okay, see, they were over here, and already it looks like all of the raiders have decided they're going to congregate on this one point instead. So, okay, even though this was a faster approach over this direction, they're now looking at this over here and saying, one gate is a lot easier to break than two. So it's changing their pathing, for sure, and now I know this is about to become the choke point. So what this kind of makes you wonder then, would it make sense to basically create kill boxes where you double wall all but like one spot, then set down a whole mess of towers, and will that be enough to provoke the AI to attack in that one spot? A little bit late for that to matter right now, but in the future, it might. Now, some of them have decided to split off and go over in this direction, but I think that's just because literally it's too many units all attacking the same spot. So in their view, it just makes sense to just go ahead and split up a little bit. By the way, 8 horsemen have just taken on like 40 of these guys at once, and they're winning, dude. Anyway, aside from one cheap tower and a gate, I lost nothing out of a raid of over 100. Think we're finally figuring this out, aren't we? Anyway, a little bit more progress down this tech tree. We've now unlocked hospitals. Not that that's really been much of an issue, and I'm kind of surprised by this. On maximum difficulty, I think I expected disease to be a lot more rampant than it has been. But our healer house, usually one doctor has been plenty to deal with them the entire time. So I haven't really felt the need to improve my city's healthcare, and I don't really see any reason to start now. I mean, unless there's some other benefit that I'm not seeing, more desirability, sure, medicine, but I don't produce medicine because I don't have a lot of herbs. Nah, doesn't seem like an issue. Not a priority. So at this point, do I have what I need to start building up the economic monument? I think the answer's about yes, actually. I've got enough money. There's a lot more in the trading post you don't see. The only thing I'm behind on right now is actually going to be the planks. I'm gonna do this, possibly because, you know, we might get like a special trade mission that gets me a premium price on something, and as a result, it's a little bit easier to make money. I don't think it's very likely to happen, but it might. It's also going to greatly increase a lot of my storage space. Is that really worth this investment? No, not for like gameplay reasons, it's not. But for the sake of my own personal achievement and the goal of this series, sure, why not? Starting to shape up kind of nicely. All we need is a little bit more planks. And there it is, just a little bit of construction work, and bada boom, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, wait. That's the end of the game? Oh, you only have to just build one of the monuments and you auto win. Didn't know that. Well, that's fine. Year 68. Could have just waited one more year in order to make the joke. Highest population, blah, 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 blah. Looking pretty good. We ended up killing a full 1,000 raiders. I'm happy with that, but we're obviously not done. We're going to continue because I want to have all 3 monuments. I must collect them like the pieces of the Triforce. So let's see, what does this actually do for us? It says down here that we get the commerce chambers, storage buildings and vaults get additional storage capacity. And then, of course, we have those potential extra requests. Also, if all merchants automatically have more coin with them when they come by, that's actually not bad, because I've had a few occasions where I've wanted to sell some more goods to somebody, but he was flat out broke. So this means I can just sell more stuff, which I think is valuable. How much extra capacity? Oh, wow, it like almost doubled my capacity. I think this thing was almost full before, wasn't it? Maybe. Interesting, okay. Well, that's a lot of storage. I don't think it affects your food storage, unfortunately. That would have been nice. So now I just gotta do this 2 more times, huh? 2 more times, huh? All right, remind me how expensive this is going to be. Civic Monuments, 12,000 gold. We're not that far off, and then I just need a lot of iron. For a lot of iron, I'm not terribly far off of that, actually. If I disable production of a few things, like weapons and stuff, we could probably get there. Actually, it looks like I've already paused production on a few of these things, so this should start stockpiling pretty nicely. I don't know, maybe we're not that far off on being able to get the Civic Monument. I just need to hurry up and wait and get through this technology. It's taking a good, 18 months or so every tech point right now, only getting harder and harder as time goes on. So this is now an exercise in patience. And y'all know how much I love having to exercise my patience. I do wish I could build another temple in this game. It would be nice, because then I'd be able to go ahead and start swapping out even more of these things. I really don't know that I need this Teeth of the Ascetic and the Ashes of the Martyr anymore. I mean, the extra health actually isn't bad. I think that still applies to soldiers. I might be wrong on that, but I think it does. And that extra 15% health can really make a difference, especially on very valuable units like my cavalry. So I don't know. Maybe I don't want to get rid of that. I was just thinking the extra DPS could be kind of nice. Raiders are approaching. I was wondering when they were going to show their ugly little faces again. We got 4 separate groups to deal with today. Oh, okay. Well, that's kind of complicate things just a smidge. Well, unsurprisingly, I think what I want to do is just go ahead and ride out and meet some of them head on, deal with them before they become an issue, and then we'll just circle around and clear them all out. How big is this raid? 142! Well, I'm looking for any catapults. Oh, we finally have some. Okay, this right here just became threat numero uno. Oh, there's another one over here. Okay, they finally brought them to bear. Hey, I've been waiting for this moment. I'm not happy to see them, all right? Don't get it twisted. This is still bad. But, I mean, finally, it's a thing. I'm gonna have to get sneaky with the cavalry, I think. Try to get in there and take those catapults down before they can knock down the walls. The walls are the #1 thing that's keeping me safe right now, man. So let's see if I can't use my cavalry to just get in here and just, literally burn down the catapult and ignore everything else for a second. Is that an option? Sure is. Run! Okay, we got what we wanted, so now they have to actually come and deal with me. Let's go take down this catapult as well, which I don't think will be too hard for us to take down. Got it? Okay, cool. Now, let's just go deal with the siege engines actually trying to knock down the gates. If they've got no siege engines, this becomes super duper painful for them, right? I mean, I think they're about to break through the gates regardless, because when you have... Why? Why are you turning around? Why are you turning around? Hit the thing that I told you to. Is that insanely hard to figure out? I don't think it should be. Whatever, they're gonna knock down the gate regardless, because when there's 3 of these rams, it turns out that's still kind of a lot. But we can hold the gate, hold the gap, I should say, I think, without any issue. Look at these cavalry go, dude! They're so good! And now we're engaging with this group over here with just raw infantry, which, so far, not a big issue. Just gonna micromanage the cavalry over here and make sure that we don't accidentally lose anything. They are bringing a few pikes to bear, which could be a little bit scary. But, they're trickling in enough. We're just obliterating. God, I love this. This whole group has been routed by one task force of 8 cavalry. God, dude, it's great. All right, let's go clean this up. I think so far I've literally just lost 1 archer. I'm pretty sure that's all that I've lost. This might be the first time we actually get to see some heavy infantry doing some work as well. He just cleared out the entire group that was inside of the battering ram. No problem at all. Yeah, I lost 1 archer out of the arrangement. That is it. Dude. And I got enough horses. I could keep doing this. I could just keep getting a whole bunch of cavalry. Who needs anything else? And I finished with the alcohol sterilization over here, so we are literally 1 point away from being able to get myself the pharmacy. And 1 more point to unlock this, 1 more point to unlock this. We're done. 3 points is all I'm looking for, man. It's not much. So if I really want to get this done quickly, then the only thing that matters now is making as much money as I can. You know, it's funny, I really did seriously expect we were going to have to expand the city a lot more than I have been at this point. My intention was not to build out these walls and say that is the end of it. I even said that earlier in the series. And yet, I'm really not convinced I need to grow any more than this. Somehow, our population demographics have more or less corrected. I'm now sitting on plenty of laborers, even though the game continues screaming at me saying, 67 laborers isn't enough! Morons, it's plenty. What are you talking about? Anyway, yeah, so I feel like I don't need to keep growing. You know, 600 pops is actually pretty good. In fact, 500 was also pretty close, like the natural cap for the population growth. It was pretty decent. But I got a little overambitious, I guess. I don't know. No one could stop me. The point is, I think we've accomplished something pretty great over here. This is a nice-looking town, and it's still got a lot of elbow room. I do wish there were ways to speed up the research point generation a little bit, though. Like, it's really fascinating looking at how this game has developed over the years. I remember when this first came out, so I was one of the first content creators to get a chance to put my hands on it, which is pretty cool, but it used to be very different. I mean, you could be pretty much done with the game by like year 30 or 40, because all you had to do was just kind of work your way up the tiers. There was no stymieing with technology, and yet I really don't feel bad about this. It's a little slow now. I wish that I could do something like print books, and that would actually make the research go even faster. That would make this a good incentive, but regardless, I feel like I've had enough tools at my disposal with the technologies, with the buffs that I've received from some of these, that it easily makes up for it. And the fact that I've had to agonize over which choices I'm going to make throughout the game tells me that the tree is actually reasonably balanced, at least at a high difficulty level, so it's not obvious what you're going to do. You have to actually think about it. What are my priorities? What do I need right now? What are the limitations of the map or the resources I have access to? That's a good sign. A very good sign, I think. So yeah, it's slower in a lot of ways, but I would say it's still very satisfying. And that's an impressive balance to walk. Oh, this will speed things up nicely, by the way. Hello! We'll just go ahead and buy another knowledge point. That saves me like a whole year and a half. Alright, pharmacy it is. We're this close. There's that last point. Okay, beacon of culture. Yes, please. What is this thing going to look like, I wonder? It's actually surprisingly small. How quaint. No matter, I'll build it anyway. It's gonna cost me every bit of gold that I've got, unfortunately. Plus, pretty much all the iron that I've been stacking up, but, you know, it's fine. So all I really need to worry about from here on out is working on the military monument, which needs 1,000 stone, and then, of course, 10,000 gold, which I am still a ways away from. So, 17 months will get the last monument unlocked. I don't know that I can make 10,000 gold in 17 months. We'll get as close as we can, though. I mean, if we're having all these extra resources, I guess there's really no downside to just building up some more blast furnaces and smelting even more gold. Yeah, let's do it. I've convinced myself. That's a good idea. And of course, the raiders are back, because, you know, that's what they do. This will probably end up being the last raid we face for the entire game. Oh, man. Now I'm feeling a little bit melancholy just thinking about that. It's only 105 raiders, too. Man, you guys could have given me one really big send-off. You could have done it, but instead you decided to go easy on me, huh? Well, at least they have catapults. I have 8 months to pay 9,000 gold, or they will attack. Attack me, then. Don't waste my time. Wait, hang on. Hang on. Trying to ransom me and hold me hostage, that was an option this whole time? And instead you've thrown away over 1,000 men to their deaths without even asking if you could just get paid? Tell me how that makes sense, fool. Got any more catapults up here? No? Okay. So over here you just have the one, right? Cavalry, you know what to do. Make them come to me. Destroy the catapults. So by all means, bring in your long trails of banditos. Let's see how effective we are at shooting you all to death. Heck, I can even use my fort as a proper tower here and see if we can just shoot a whole bunch of them. The only problem is, of course, that little siege engine you got there. It's very pretty. I bet you I could break that. Or not. Apparently the infantry don't know how to attack through the doors anymore. Well, you used to know how to do it. What changed? Aw, man. Whatever, it's fine. You guys gotta break down one more gate. Enjoy it while you can. And here they come. But it turns out it doesn't even matter. I've got my cavalry coming in to flank all of you. Just hold the line, men. Reinforcements are on the way. Oh, don't flank. Okay, they decided not to go around. They're just gonna charge through. It's fine. It doesn't matter. Same difference. And now they have to retreat. Cool. Apparently I lost a couple of people, but they weren't in my military, so it must have been stragglers. Too bad, so sad. Yeah, 2 of my hunters decided to be heroes. Look, that worked in the early game, guys. It has not been a thing for a while. But there we go. We lost 1 gate. That was it. I think that's a testament to our strength, ladies and gentlemen. And this isn't even my final form. I had plans to build myself another barracks and another stable and everything up over here. But we didn't need it. And that's good, because that would have been expensive. Ooh, we got something here. A merchant has arrived with a premium offer. Something we haven't seen yet. Trader number 2, what do you got here, bud? You really, really, really want to buy my iron. That is a lot of money, to be fair. That is a lot of money. Yeah, I could sell my iron. How much do we need for the next monument again? 200? Yeah, that would be a way of making a lot of cash. Okay, this is probably worth more than I'd be able to make with most of my armory. So the crazy thing is, it looks like I did actually manage to make enough gold that I could totally build the final monument. I don't even know how I made that much gold, if I'm honest with you, but we did. I mean, it helps that we're minting 2,200 a year plus a bit more as this thing gets online, but yeah. Somehow we traded more than I thought we did. We're rolling in cash, dude. We are so good at this game. I am so amazing. That's the last point. Bada boom! We have it all unlocked. It's okay. I still haven't produced enough iron to actually finish this, apparently. Thought I had, but I guess not. Alright, so, military monument. The gold is there, the stone is there, the iron's gonna be the thing that slows me down. It's literally like a Brandenburg Gate knockoff. Okay. I suppose that's fine, can't really complain. We'll just place it over here. Another premium offer has come my way. Glass! Oh, sweet, lovely God on high! Glass premium! Guess what I've got a lot of, dude? I got a lot of glass. You want some glass? I hear you like glass. I got all the glass. Give me your glass. Give me all your money. I want your money. Give me your money. Oh, wait, but you only need to sell a certain amount of it before the order is over. I only got to sell him like 100 something. Aw, man. Ironically, I think I might have actually been able to just make more money if he didn't have a limit to how many he was willing to buy. All right, you know what? Everything I just said, God on high, I take it all back. I take everything back. Thank you for the effort. It was a good try, but I'm not actually happy. It might actually have been a pretty good deal. I have no idea. I haven't sat down and done the math. Maybe it was totally worth it. I just know I was totally excited to end this video making like 30 or 40,000 gold. That would have been, I mean, he didn't have that much, but you get the idea. That would have been amazing. Oh, this thing just got finished when I wasn't looking. Hey, that's another beautiful monument done. What does this one do? Well, we talked about this a little bit before, but an expanded selection of decorations. And construction and relocation takes substantially less time. Not that I'll be looking to do a lot of relocation, and the construction time is cool and all, but that's not been an issue either, so I'm gonna say that those benefits aren't really great. I am curious though, like how good are all these masterwork statues and stuff? Like if I wanted to place down a large statue, oh yeah, you know, 10, 12% desirability, over a very, very large swath of territory. Oh my god. It's pretty effective. Okay. If I had the extra iron to go around, I would probably build those just for the sake of vanity. But we got our priorities, man. Eyes on the prize. Build that gate. I'm definitely starting to know some performance issues with the game, by the way. Like 650 pops apparently is about as much as my computer can handle. Again, this is not like my really top-end computer, so I'm pretty sure I could do a lot more. This is just my, like, 4 or 5-year-old computer. So this game does take up a pretty decent amount of processing power. Can you tell that I'm bored sitting around and waiting? Just, I can tell, just from the quality of my commentary, or lack thereof. By the way, I just used up one of my points here to get things like convenience taxes as a new policy. Reduces town happiness by 10%. You know one thing that's never been an issue this entire game? Happiness. Shockingly, despite the fact that, you know, we've been playing it at a very, very high difficulty, but no, it's never been an issue. So who cares? Pay me 30% more taxes. It's worth it. There we go, there we go, there we go, there we go. Boom! Oh, okay. I got 2 Steam achievements out of that one, by the way. Building this thing on the maximum difficulty, non-pacifist in the arid highlands, apparently worth a lot. What does this do? Well, it means that you can taunt the raiders and make them come and attack you. And when they're taunted, they're stronger with every one of my victories. So right now, it's not that bad. Just a little more health, a little bit more raid size, a little bit more damage. But it can get pretty scary. Let's taunt them. Ooh, they're already on the way. That was a quick response. No problem. We know how to handle this. All right, let's send out one small group to deal with these guys while they're on the way. We can catch them while I have the high ground advantage. And then these other 3 forces on the way, don't know what to expect there. 226 raiders. Oh my. Woo! Okay. That's gonna be fun. Maybe I don't have time to wait for the high ground advantage. Let's get over here and get ready to start raining death on them. That is a lot. That is a lot of heavy cavalry. A lot of heavy cavalry Jeezums. You know something? This is now scary enough. I think we go to the temple and we swap out some relics. Let's get the Eye of the Hunter so that I can do a lot more range damage. And the Shards of Narsil. I mean, the Shards of Markovian's Blade. Not sure what to expect out of this heavy cavalry. They might be kind of scary. What do we see coming at us over here? Some catapults, yes. Very large group over here. Oh my god. This, might have been a mistake, guys. This might have been a big mistake. I mean, my cavalry are doing some serious work. That's the good news. But not enough. I'm literally losing cavalry. Oh, that is unacceptable. That is beyond... Oh, God. Okay, pull back. New strategy. If they don't have a siege engine, ignore them. I'm really starting to wonder if this taunt was a really, really big mistake. I don't know if I could have cost myself the game. Even if I do lose, I accomplished for the most part what I want to, right? Like, it can't, we can't get that mad here. I did deliberately poke the bear. I'm gonna see if I can do a couple little last-minute cheeky things, like setting up some walls right where I know they're going to attack me. Might not work. Maybe it does, though. We'll see. Good God, these catapults also have a stupid amount of health. How is this possible? Was I really that dependent upon my cavalry? We fight one group that can deal with my cavalry and I crumble? Like a papier-mâché doll? Honestly, I don't know. Maybe. I don't think anyone's gonna try building this wall over here, by the way. They're too scared of the, approaching death. Oh my gosh, my cavalry are getting wrecked by these pikemen. I thought this was only a 5% improvement in their damage. It's way more than that. Way more than that, dude! Like, legitimately, I think that they've lied. I think they legitimately lied to me, and it is way, way, way harder than they've made it out to be here. Anyway, unsurprisingly, they broke through this, like, no problem at all, thanks to all those catapults. And, yeah, no, my forces literally can't contend with this. They do so much more damage. So much more. I've been lied to, guys. I have 100% been lied to, and I'm kinda peeved. But it makes for a fun finale, I guess. I mean, I'm gonna put up my best possible stand, but it does mean we need to pull back where I've got some defense. Yeah, 3 pikemen just obliterated my horses with 1 hit each. That's it. That's how bad this is. I think 3 pikemen just wiped out 2 of my armies over here, actually, is what just happened. Right away. Oh. Well, I'm gonna make them bleed forward the best I can. I've killed 38 of their raiders, they've killed 38 of my villagers. That's how even this fight, quote-unquote, has been, but I am running out of gas. They are not. Town center destroyed. And this group over here with no siege weapons still easily broke through. That's GG, ladies and gentlemen. So, I'm just gonna go ahead and say, this monument, I think we have now confirmed, is a death trap. And you should never click this button under any circumstance. Oh, sure, the game seems fine. You're doing so well. We've been crushing all of these stupid raiders. Yeah, no. Apparently they've been holding back this whole time. We really insulted their mothers or something, because this entire town is dead now. Holy crud. I'm just gonna activate my time travel powers, if you don't mind. Absolutely zero shot, dude. That was never, ever gonna go in my favor. I really don't know if it was just a stat increase issue or the fact that every single unit was a heavy infantry or cavalry. And that made that much of a difference. Maybe, but it sure seemed like they were doing more than twice the normal damage in their hits. That could be crazy. But you know what? We had to try it. We had to find out what would happen for science. And now we know. Don't touch the military monument. Overall, I'm very satisfied with how Dryton has turned out, considering what we were up against in the incredibly harsh environment, the lack of resources, the chronic absence of food and water and whatever else. We somehow managed to make a reasonable looking city, and we built all 3 of the endgame monuments. There's still plenty more that I could do, right? More production chains with things like books or getting the guilds up and running that I could do, but I mean, like, at this point, I think I've accomplished everything that I really care about. And this was fun. Farthest Frontier really is a phenomenal game, one of the better survival city builders out there. In so many ways, it reminds me of playing Banished. But of course with, you know, God-tier raiders, apparently. Ugh. I do think that I'm going to be ending things here, though. Thank you all very much for the ongoing support throughout this series. It always does mean a lot to me, and I am glad to hear that so many of you enjoyed watching this. Of course, be sure to hit that like button as one final show of appreciation. Leave a comment, subscribe, hit that notify bell, and I will see you guys next time.